Oh, there you going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just leave it going. I just separate it when it's like trailer 1. Okay, we're moving on to the next thing.
So I was thinking
I'm on the tween one.
the Sephora Kids one.
Yeah, because you said January 24th.
I'm just going vanishing tween spaces and void for third places.
And Ryan.
What is freaking up, you guys? My name is Sara.
And my name is Eve.
And this is Burnt Out Perfectionist.
And this is your friendly early reminder to please subscribe, like, comment, share, follow it.
Hit the reminder button.
Oh, yeah. Hit that bell.
Hit the
If you're on YouTube. We are on all major social medias, including now Snapchat. Really upgraded there.
Yeah.
We're also on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, and Threads. If people are still using that, if so, please comment it on Threads because I open it like once every 6 months.
Oh, yeah. And we do post some stuff on Pinterest and stuff. I feel like our main ones are like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We like the Pinterest. It's just finding the appropriate content to post on behalf of Burnt Out Perfectionists.
Yeah. It's also kind of hard to just get your vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this week, what is your survive and thrive of the week?
So I got the fucking flu last week. I feel like I'm just like a never-ending void of sickness. But it was like the gross flu, like the one where you barf. I was not a fan. My thrive is I went to a hockey tournament for my kid and I had a lot of fun. And it was literally in the middle of like a very remote town in British Columbia. So it was just like, what the cool part was, is like the rink was only maybe like 2 minutes away. And we were staying in a hotel. And my main thrive was the fact that this hotel had breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Oh, what a prime time.
I literally ate breakfast twice. I ate several plates at both. They had bacon. And then they had a fucking pancake conveyor belt machine.
Man, I can really tell you didn't travel a lot for sports because I love those.
See, I've done the waffle ones, and they were so fucking messy, though.
Oh, the pancake one's so much better because you just click a button and it makes a pancake.
Clearly, I was not eating them, but my kid was thriving at the fact that she could go up and get this. And she said, Mom, if we win the lottery, can I please get a pancake machine? And then my husband came over and said the exact same thing 5 seconds later. So, here and now, if we pop off and become huge, I am on the hook to purchase a automatic pancake delivery machine.
I will be purchasing a slushy machine. So equally.
Right? We should just have like 2 houses and then the middle is just like a giant fucking convenience store of all the stuff that we want. Like, you know that my kid would thrive with the taquitos. Like, just throw some taquitos on a roller.
Like that, have you watched the movie where the little kid's really rich and he's just like in the basement chilling, waiting for, it was Cooper in American Housewife.
Oh, okay,
He's
yeah.
in a rich basement.
I was like,
the guy sitting in there and he's like a part of the arcade.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Hi, this is my job. I would also like a bowling alley. Random fact. We had one of those in one of my apartments, and it was so cool.
My surviving moment of the past couple week, because I'm recording a week, is I still have a random migraine that just likes to appear daily.
Yeah, that's super fucking annoying.
So, I think I've gotten under wraps now, knock on wood. But I've had a lot of concussions, so they've just decided to creep up on me and be like, hello.
Also, we've like had it. I know like apparently atmospheric pressure is like a huge thing that can help trigger things as well. And like we've literally gone from -28 to it was like -10 within like a day. And then 24 hours later be at like +3.
Oh, it was also like -28, snowing.
Yeah.
Freezing. Like you couldn't even like take a deep breath. And then it's raining.
Yeah, right now it's pissing with rain outside.
Like pouring with rain, and it's probably like positive, like let's say 8 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? Like I literally do not know what to wear. I feel like I should just keep my universal wardrobe, and the only time I change anything out is when it gets hot as fuck and I just wear shorts.
Well, exactly.
Like, which I'm totally down with, but I'm like, I was very cold when it was -28. My child purchased me an electric blanket for my birthday. And I think that was the only way I survived that Arctic front.
I made little rice packs that I warm up and put in my slippers, and that really helped. The other thing that I also crochet a lot, so I just sit underneath the blanket daily. My Thrive moment of this week is yesterday, this Wednesday, we entered the gym again.
Oh my God, thank God. Because we've either all been sick at different times or at the same time, stuffed up, coughing, sounding like we're dying. So,
or holidays. Like, those people that are like, I make sure to work out throughout the holidays. Good for you. I work in healthcare. I'm tired.
Well, and the other thing is like, we were so steady at going all the time, and like we continued to go, and it was great. And then it was just like somebody got sick, somebody was doing this. Like, my husband had migraine yesterday, but we still went, and he went and walked around the mall instead. Also, there was an issue with his lock. It appears that I pressed some stupid buttons on my Apple Notes and lost every single note I've ever had in my phone, which made me feel buck-ass naked to the world. And then realized that I did not have the combination for my lock anymore. Well, I found out yesterday that my husband has the combination for my gym lock, but unfortunately not the combination for his gym lock.
That was a fun.
It's like funny, ironic. It's like, oh dear, because he actually has it clipped to his backpack instead of like inside the backpack closed. So,
so you really don't?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
And like some people consider the gym a third place.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
So on this week's episode of Burnt Out Perfectionist, we're going to talk about the vanishing tween spaces and the void of third places.
Okay, so you're like, what in the heck is a third place? So easily defined, a third place is like you have work that you go to. Ideally, these would be physical places that you would go to. I understand that people like work and do everything from home right now because, you know, the panorama kind of changed all of that. But so you got your one place like work, you got your other place, which is home, and you got your other place, and then ideally you would have like a third place. So if you watch shows in the 90s, you'd be really familiar with a show called Cherished, which after people were done, the look on Eve's face, after people were done with everything, then they would go, and there was like a postal worker. There's all these different people, and they worked in various different jobs. Some of them didn't even drink. They would just sit there and have food or whatever. But it was that extra place, not a place where you spend money, but just an extra like safe place where you go hang out. Another classic one that Eve would know would be the coffee house and Friends.
Oh, I was saying How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, How I Met Your Mother, which is like another one where it's like they go downstairs. Gilmore Girls, they have Luke's place. So
I realized most of these are considered like caffeine or like alcohol. It could also be like the library or like the local bookstore.
100%.
Those types of things too.
So there's like a ton of different places where you can go. But if you were to sit back and think about it, how many places can you go where you really don't have to spend a lot of money or do a very specific activity?
That also does not, that is not like weather based.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also important. It's a consistent place throughout the year. So a lot of people like to walk during spring, summer, and fall. And like when it's wintertime, they're not a huge fan about it. So that doesn't really count as a third place because it's weather dependent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something like, oh, I really need to like escape. I'm going to go place.
Yeah. Where everybody knows your name. Do. This is on Cheers.
I don't know if that's the proper.
No, that's not it.
It's a different one.
But given the musical culture that you grew up in, it would either do the up or have a clap machine. So,
yes.
Okay, so where this kind of stems from is in the last two episodes. Well, it was one full episode and there's two flip-alongs, so I split it into two. Hopefully you like that. If you didn't like that and you find that annoying, please let us know. If it gives you the to be continued feels of the television days where you would have to wait for the next season for an episode and then sometimes it wasn't picked up and you were just left in a void. Or if you like it and you like it split up so that we can continue on another time. But it kind of leaches back to the whole like Sephora kid or how like a lot of tweens are growing up faster than usual. and leading on the fact that there's not a lot of those places. So main stores that were listed were things like Sephora Girl, or it wasn't even just like Sephora Girl, sorry, it was La Senza Girl was one of them. Claire's is, I mean, I still go in Claire's to get stuff, so. And there was a lot of other like smaller stores like Justice, stuff like that. So like physical stores. There's other places that you can like take your kids to. So like indoor playgrounds and stuff like that. But a lot of them have like cut off. Yeah. So we used to have a lot of things that people could go to. If you follow any sort of religion, there's usually some form of like youth group or something where people can meet at. There used to be a lot of community support places where you could go and just hang out. Not even for like a purpose. The purpose was just to hang out with other teenagers. Also, when it comes to schools and stuff, there was a lot more groups or clubs and stuff like that you can join. So like when you were a kid, because obviously when I was a kid was an extremely long time ago. So when you were a kid, where were kind of places that you would like go and hang out or do stuff?
Well, I don't really leave my house that often, but a lot of the times it was like we have a local arcade.
Yeah.
So we'd go there. We would go to baseball games. A lot of people when I was younger would do dance. So they had a lot of dance stuff. And then that's when I started like taekwondo and baseball. Yeah. And so I'd have those separate things. But there wasn't like a lot of like after probably the age of 6 or 7. There wasn't a lot of places that you could really like go and experience things that weren't like starting to get expensive.
I know, because it was like when I was younger, like the thing used to be is like when you were a tween, you were gonna die. We'd go to movies and they'd be $1. You go to a movie, and then when the toonie came out in Canada, which is $2, and it's a coin. I know why we had a $2 bill, but they called it Toonie Tuesdays, and you could go see a movie. I mean, I saw Ever After like 5 times in the theater because I was obsessed with that movie. And like I would go with my friends and do that, or you go hang out like at your friend's house, play like video games or whatever. Like if you lived in a neighborhood that was like safe enough to like run around and hang out with other people, or if there was other kids in your neighborhood, like there's a lot of people where there's just like older folks who maybe don't have grandkids in the area or nieces and nephews or whatever. And there's not a lot of kids in neighborhoods now.
Like, we talked about it in the Halloween episode, but I only had like 5 people.
Which is like unheard of, because like when I was a kid, everybody kind of had their standard box house. We lived on a street, and I want to say more than every second house had a kid or multiple kids in it. So that's kind of, it seems like things are slowly getting cut off. Also, a lot more people are leaning towards using their third place is instead of physically leaving their home. So they're working in their home. They're living in their home, clearly.
Yes.
And their way that they're communicating or deeming themselves as communicating is social media platforms, is some people like stream on Twitch. Some people will play multiplayer video games like Call of Duty, to like provide that social aspect, because sometimes you only have to pay that 1-year subscription fee. You only have to buy the game or whatever in order to get onto that, to have that kind of social feel when it comes to stuff.
I feel like that kind of wrecked social interaction.
And that's kind of like what I was leading into. Like I feel that yes, it's great that those things are there. And I think a lot of people deemed it as like, originally, there was this huge fear, I know when I was a kid, about the internet, because it was like everybody was getting in their house, that there was creeps. There is creeps on the internet. We know this, and we need to make sure that we educate and tell kids about all this stuff and everything as well. And no matter what social media platform, anything that accesses the internet, you have a chance for a creep, a virus, spam, anything like that, right? So a thing was, I know originally what started was like chat rooms, and people would kind of be social there, but people kind of saw it as, another big thing was like LAN parties. I believe I explained this to you before. So LAN party.
Oh, landline parties.
Yeah. So a LAN party, for anyone who's listening, is when a bunch of people who love a game such as World of Warcraft, Counter-Strike, stuff like this. Yes, if you know the names of some of these games, you lived back around the same time as me. And they would all take their computers to like one person's house and hook up to their internet, have all their headsets on, and play their video games so they could turn and look at their buddies and go, "Nice move, bro." And that's kind of the definition of a LAN party. So they were all in one room. Now that there's multiplayer, you don't have to leave your house. You don't have to pick up your heavy computer tower, your monitors, all that other stuff. And you can just sit and play with your friends, which I'm not putting this down. This is a great way. I know people who have like made friends through this, who have started great communities that support each other out of this. There's a community that's actually called Call of Duty Dads. Ben is not part of it. Nathan's part of it, one of my friends. And they would all be playing games together, having fun. And then they would, I probably screwed up the name of that too, but then they would all talk to each other like, "Oh, my kid was doing this the other day. Oh, I tried doing this." And it was like really like a cute, fun, like supportive dad thing they're doing while blowing shit up. But it was that whole other aspect. And I again, sorry, I think the big thing is like low cost and the feel of safety, because you're in your home. So if your teen's upstairs playing video games and you taught them about internet safety, they're safe because they're in the house. They're not wandering around. They're not exposed, because every environment's different. There's things that can happen. There's different people and stuff like that. But then that's kind of cut off the social, like actually being social.
I think also if you think about it in like fashion wise during the pandemic, before the pandemic, if you were going to work, like you very much put on like a role.
Mm-hmm.
You go into work, when you came home, you were comfort clothes.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, it was like only wearing comfy clothes. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to say laziness, but like, it's now like, oh, okay, well, we're going to do, like I was sending these to Sarah about like the gals nights type thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like we're going to paint doormats.
Oh my God, I love that one. Yeah.
And a lot of the times too, that would be something that I feel like kids would do growing up, like come over, let's like have fun on crafts and stuff like that. And like people now are like, I don't want your child in my home. My kid's gonna play video games, which like there's a difference between having a section and having a place.
Yeah.
So yes, stores have a section for kids and tweens.
Yeah.
But they also have the adult section, which is still very easily to be offered.
And well, that's the whole thing too, is like there's stuff where I'll go and say there'll be like sales or my kid needs a t-shirt for something. There's always some fucking themed day. Like as an example, pink shirt day. My kid doesn't wear pink. So most of the time I usually have to buy a pink shirt, which thank you. Shout out to Walmart. Even though people shit on them, they usually have a theme shirt and it usually is $5, which is great when you have a kid who grows out of everything every single year. And there'll be that, but then we'll be going through stuff and she'll pull out things in the kids section where kids fit up to 12, 14 is the size that's in there. And it'll be Nevermore Academy Wednesday. Okay. I watched Addams Family. To me, that was like, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, but then I saw Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw all these other shows that were kind of trending on TV or platforms that aren't literally geared towards kids. Or they would have like weird, this is a big thing. There's a gentleman that I've seen that's on TikTok, and his big thing is how younger girls' clothing will have like inappropriate things on it. Like, I bring all my milkshake to the yard for the boys. And it's like, why is that in the kids section?
Yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, when I was little, you go into the store, you go into the section, you grab the clothes you like. And, like, I was in a dollar store.
Yeah.
And I almost got taken out by a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was like, hello. And it's like, everything is like consumer-based products.
Yeah.
Which like before used to be apply your marketing to the audience that you're going to. So now everything is bright colored because it's catering towards kids versus all the adult stuff is boring.
Yeah, there's so many adult things that are boring. Like, I don't want something that's nude, that's not appealing to me. I understand that's appealing for some people. Some people love the vanilla. Some people love the beige, and that's totally fine. Hey, this is us interrupting us. So this is Sara.
Oh, sorry. This is Eve.
And we just wanted to throw in a little self-promotion here. Please subscribe to Burnt Out Perfectionist, our podcast dedicated to all the topics of life.
Dive deeper into the topics we explore, connect with like-minded individuals in our community forums, and share your own stories.
Please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Be the first to know about upcoming episodes, special guests, and exclusive events by following us on all of the social medias, Burnt Out Perfectionist or Burnt Out Perfectionist Pod.
We value your input, so share your thoughts with us on social media or even send us an email because I do get alerts. Your voice matters and we want to hear from you.
Thanks for being a part of the Burnt Out Perfectionist community. Now let's get back to the insightful conversation that you tuned into for between Eve and I.
And remember, your journey is unique and it's okay to not have all the answers.
Perfect. Stay as warped and twisted as ever.
And that's by boring, I mean it's usually a couple of colors in it. Now everything is bright.
Oh, everything's bright colors. The first one that I really noticed was I know specifically in Sephora, it was in Drunk Elephant. It was actually Glow Recipe. They had the most colorful packaging that I've ever noticed. Another one was Urban Decay. They always had bright, but they were known for having the fun colors that were formulated to actually be pigmented. That was their jam. And I mean, I didn't even know what the fuck Sephora was probably until I want to say it was 2011.
But you didn't have it. No, it came out. It was.
Well, I mean, I used to buy it when it was in the States and there was no locations in Canada.
Because it used to be that you had to be 16 and with a parent in order to enter.
Honey, I was over the age of 16 in 2011.
No, I'm just saying it used to be that.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't start hearing about this stuff until I didn't really go on YouTube a lot. I watched a lot of the atypical things the WTF video, Salad Fingers, Red versus Blue, a lot of the original content that was on YouTube. But because it wasn't really a place where a lot of people felt comfortable or whatever, I was busy outside, hanging out with my friends, playing, riding bikes, doing extracurricular activities, reading books.
Nobody
doing crafts
was doing putting on a full face of makeup at the age of 10.
Oh my God, no. I remember it was controversial when the girl would get the Claire's palette and she would wear the frosted eyeshadow and put it on. And it was oh no, you were not allowed to wear that. To school or do whatever, but you could dress up and put stuff on. I understand that we've progressed and all the other stuff, but the whole thing is your skin is so impressionable when you're younger. And I think that's a big thing is if you're putting all this stuff on your face, you may cause permanent damage to your face for the rest of your life, or you may be constantly trying, which is probably the consumerist part, constantly trying to find a solution when it actually the solution is just to stop using that shit because it's not meant for you.
Well, and the third place of going to the mall used to be just walking around the mall and going to Claire's and stuff like that. When we were in the mall yesterday, we're walking around and everybody's just sitting in groups on their phones.
Oh, sitting in groups on their phones, or they have an assignment list on their phone. I understand if you have an assignment list, you're going in for a birthday.
Yeah.
You're going in for a holiday, something like that. But I've seen people who are going in and they're oh yeah, I need to go here and get this. I need to go here and this. I need is what I hear a lot. I need to go get this. I'm do you really need it or do you want it? Because there's a big difference between a want and a need.
I think that I really just want a soda shop in Canada. And I feel something like that, a diner.
Like a Pop's diner.
Like a Pop's diner. But something that is simple because I find that my generation of Gen Z now is I'm going to shit on millennials for 2 seconds. Millennials are trying to be younger while Gen Alpha is trying to be older and Gen Z is I'm done with this. I'm just going to chill.
Well, and that's the whole thing is I feel my generation, the millennial generation, I hate saying that, I'm part of that. But the millennial generation is literally, we've been taught, I was watching a video earlier by Brooke Cooper that was on this, is we've been taught that like, you don't need a third place. You don't need hobbies. You don't need this. Your job is to have a side hustle, to be a girl boss, and to only think about yourself. And I think for my generation, that's kind of where it led off was like, well, you need to focus hard on your work and do all this stuff and figure out how you're going to climb the corporate ladder and how you're going to do this. And if you need to go to school to get education on this and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, there's like hobbies over here, which I mean, I bet you Michaels didn't suffer that much. They seem to always be thriving. But there's a lot of people sitting there realizing that, oh, like I don't have a hobby. Like I've legitimately said, I don't have a hobby. I know how to do things. If I want to do something, if I'm like, I want a Christmas wreath, I will go source the stuff for a Christmas wreath and make it. I'm not making it because I saw it somewhere. I'm making it because I know I need one. Because when you go to buy one, they're like fucking ridiculous. They're like $50 to $100 sometimes if you want a super cute one. But I feel like that's where it kind of slowly started to drop off. Also, I feel like communities aren't pumping that much money into things, at least that I've seen, for community support things or setting stuff up. And it's harder to get into them because they don't, unfortunately, have the resources to offer enough room for everybody. Like I've talked about this before, like getting your kid into swimming lessons in our area is like the Hunger Games of parenting. Getting your kid into something else is like the Hunger Games. Like it is a whole other fucking job that you have to strategically figure everything out, set timers and do this. I understand I signed up for this because I'm a parent. But I'm just saying, like, because there's such limited offerings, because there's only so many people wanting to fill those roles, because of the limited budget that's given, it just trickles down into there being not a lot of spaces for kids to go do stuff, especially after the age of like, I want to say like 9, like once you're too tall to be in like a friggin' giant playground area. And that was the funny thing is I was like, what am I going to do when arcades are no longer really an option?
I would also like to make a statement to the parents. I am not one, but your child is not your best friend.
Oh my God, I say this to my
there's a great connection that you can have when you go on like daddy-daughter dates, mommy-daughter dates.
Yes.
Like with your kids where you get your toes done or stuff like that. Your child should not be a miniature version of you where they're walking around with a $3,000 purse and they go, oh, well, my mom just does this, so like I have to do this, or my dad does this. Why don't you make it being like, what are you interested in?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do this? I'm going to sign you up for at the local rec center to see if you can do that. But people are so afraid to leave their child where they're not looking at them.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, like not a lot of kids are going to like gymnastics.
There are kids who go to gymnastics, but again, it's almost, sometimes it's limited resources or it's priced out of budget for a lot of people.
Well, it's like a freaking club, like if there's like volleyball, basketball club.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you like the sport? Okay, now this is like the accelerated NHL version where you need to spend thousands of dollars.
No, this is
in order for your child to succeed remotely in life.
I put my kid into one sport. They're okay at it. This is their entire personality. Like I allow my child to bounce around and kind of choose what her new adventure is. Hey, these are the options that I've seen available. What would you like to do? You can pick an activity. Because I know my kid. And I know that if you overcommit, that poor kid is going to be so tired. You need to remember that, they're being social at school. They're learning shit every single day. When was the last time you sat in the classroom for like 6.5 hours a day and had mini breaks? And that's kind of the big thing, right? Is just making sure that we factor that in.
But yeah, those places of like, she's gone. Think of different places that could be third places. So like open gym time used to be a huge thing. Going to jewelry places, like building jewelry, having like those fun nights where it's like, oh, okay, we're going to do friendship bracelets. And like the kids come over for a couple of hours, or like pool parties. And like you're having that effect of like making sure that people like are leaving their houses and having fun. Like you could do things that are really affordable. Like I would love to see like kids doing like painting nights, where it's not that like you have to do painting nights in the sense you have to go to a place, but like you set it up of like having a fun like gals night for painting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like, okay, like it's like that separation of like book club.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go to book club, which used to be an older thing and now everybody's doing it. But like doing those little things where it's like making the time to do it.
Yeah.
Like I have been trying to get together with my friend. The last time I saw her was in June.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, we'll hang out next month. Yeah. No. But it's like having to put that effort in. And your kid's not going to plan it. Like in the kindest way, your tween is not going to plan it. Sometimes they just don't know what to do. And if you're like, hey, do you want to do like the friendship day? You can invite your friends, make friendship bracelets.
Oh my God, we did that. I did that one time. I made friendship bracelets and necklaces, or like we would set stuff up. And usually I went to Girl Guides. So I'd have like friends from different areas, like, and then get them all together, which is always like kind of like a weird concept because you got like your best friend at Girl Guides. So you got your best friend at school and your best friend that you grew up next to, like that type of thing. And it was fun because sometimes we'd get together and do stuff, or we'd have like even things that may sound lame now, like a movie marathon.
I also do.
We've watched like a bunch of like, and sometimes you'd have sleepovers. I know sleepovers are a controversial thing. I totally understand. I was that kid who would call at like 9:30, 10 p.m. and be like, hello, please come get me. I do not want to be here anymore.
I only had like a couple friends, so we usually just went to the same place.
Well, and that's the whole thing is like, I know those are kind of like a back and forth thing depending on stuff, where you live and everything like that. But I think it's allowing kids to still play when they get older, like when they're 10 and over. Like you don't need to program them to follow trends. You don't need to program them to like act a certain way, want a certain way. Like the way that in some cases I've even seen kids who are younger adulting on behalf of their parents. I know a lot of people are shitting, saying like kids are like being complete dicks and sounding extremely entitled. But there was something that I saw very interesting the other day. And basically there was an order that was messed up. And the mom looked like she was riddled with anxiety. It was like, no, it's fine. Just leave it. And the girl, who was about, I want to say about 10 or 11 years old, goes, no, it's okay. And goes over and goes, hi, this actually is incorrect. Like, can we fix this? And the mom goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. The person's like, oh yeah, I can totally fix that for you. And the girl looks at the mom like, Mom, we could have got it fixed. And she's just like, well, I don't want to bother anybody. And I'm sitting watching this interaction going, holy shit. Like, I understand that there's kids who are being feral about beauty products and all this other stuff out there. But I just watched a kid adult more than an adult could. And I was like, what made that scenario happen?
Well, exactly. And it's like, if you have the time, which also leads me into parental bitching on social media. Oh my God, I'm a child. I need time alone. Okay, so if your kid has a club, I'm going to use youth group. Doesn't have to be youth group. Yeah. Where they just drop you off, teach you different skills, whatever that sort of is. You have that couple of hours to exist. Just like, you don't have to be mom. But what are you going to do? Because all you do is bitch about being a parent.
Yeah, guess what? When you have those hours, you don't have to clean. You could just sit and watch YouTube videos you don't want to watch, or a TV show. You could just have a snack. You could just chill and read a book. You don't have to immediately implement like a hobby.
But that's the thing, is like, if you give your kids the opportunity to, like, they're interested in music, take them to vocal lessons. If they want to, if it's affordable. Sometimes there's like cheaper options and stuff like that. Oh, they're really good friends with this person in class. Offer to like, hey, can we take them out for like milkshakes?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be milkshakes. I'm really focused on that diner thing.
Oh,
really just on a diner.
Charlie's friends are a big thing, like about going to A&W.
Yeah. You just take a couple of them, it's just there. And it's like once a year. They have fun. They talk about it. They go play.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like, when you think about, oh, okay, as an adult, what can I do? Read, listen to music, do a podcast. But that's not sustainable for a child.
I feel like people either overschedule or underschedule their kids. And then in some cases, they're just like bitching. Like, I'll be like, oh my goodness, there's hockey 3 times this. Holy shit, am I tired?
Okay.
Am I the one out on the ice? No. Am I the one who has to make sure that the uniform is clean so my kid doesn't smell like ass? Am I the one who has to put all her shit on? Am I the one who has to tie her skates? Yes. But you know what? I signed up for that, and I'll kind of go, at first. But then I'm like, she's so excited. Look at how happy she is. She's having so much fun. Look at her hanging out with these kids where she's only known one of them, like almost her whole life. But and that's the whole thing is like, I feel like society's told everybody that you can't trust anybody. You can trust people, just don't trust easily, I would say. Allow people to earn your trust versus just giving them trust and allowing them to deplete the trust. I think it's the best.
Don't allow your kid to look at the world as you do.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing for me is like I really avoid having the news on, and some people would be like, you're leaving your kid to be ignorant. I'm like, no, I don't. Like if I see something on the news about a school shooting in the States, I'm not going to look at my, think in my brain, oh, I'm fine because I'm located in Canada. That's not correct. That's like a really ignorant way to think. But you go, hey, if there is an emergency situation at school, obviously, like, don't do this randomly out of nowhere. But like, hey, if there's an emergency situation at school, like, what do you think would happen at school, or have they taught you what to do? Again, I'm not plaguing the teachers and principals and sitting there auditing their work, but what do you think the logical things to do is? If your kid looks at you and says, oh, that's easy, run out of the school and go find somebody, that's maybe have that conversation. It's teaching them how to be conscious. Like there's kids who have lemonade stands that I see every once in a while in our area, which I think is super cute, but also like some people will go up and some people won't. Like some people will be like, oh, that's weird. What happens if the kid says something about me? Or if obviously not everybody has changed and a kid's not going to get a towel for their lemonade stand. Okay. But some people are like very like awkward about it. And it's like, well, if you think someone feels awkward about it, maybe like have a parent in the background standing there. That's still fine. You're still supporting your kid. You could just read the book when they go up and get that. But then a lot of people have the fear of like, there's some cities who people have walked up and been like, do you have a business license for this?
Well, exactly. But it's like having that third place of like, you can make your home a third place for other kids. Yeah. You can make like, it's not saying that one very specific place. Like if I want to play laser tag is my third place.
Oh yeah.
No, it can just be like, oh, we went to laser tag this month with the group. And then next month we're going to go to, we're going to play Pictionary at my house. I'm going to like organize for this week for my, my kid's couple of friends to come over to do friendship bracelets. Yeah. And then maybe next month, one of the other parents will do the same thing. But you're creating it that it's okay for your kid to have fun in small increments that is not connected to a device. Yeah. That is not like looking at adults and being like, oh my God, when am I going to get boobs? No, don't think about it. Don't do it.
Also, boobs suck. I did not get them till I was pregnant with my daughter. Kind of suck. Like my back hurts and all of the things. And things fit differently, but
you got to create those like fun memories now. Like, oh my God, I went for ice cream. Oh, I did this. Oh, I like watched a baseball game. Yeah. I watch a youth baseball game pretty much for free. But I can do this. I'm going to go play street hockey outside. Like kids need a third place that isn't adult based.
Yeah, and I think another thing is I know I've been like super conscious of it. Like, get the fuck off your phone. I'm just saying it as a parent. Get the fuck off your phone.
Oh my God. I will speak to this. I don't care who the hell listens. I went to a hockey game. I am watching my niece and the hockey game very closely because I want to make sure I'm aware of it. Yeah. I turn and look, and all I see is bright lights. And I'm like, why is no one paying attention to, like, the hockey game? Yeah. And then the kids are like, Mom, can I have a phone? Mom, can I have a phone? No. You can sit and watch the hockey game. Yeah. You can have, oh, Mom, can I have a candy bag? Oh, sure, babe. Here's money. Just go get another candy bag. But on this topic of all of this, we'll probably complain about this longer. But
it's not complaining. We're just stating things that we like see and everything as well. Again, please like, subscribe, and share.
And always stay warped and twisted as ever.
Peace.